I'm Joan Pulsipher. We live in Sandy, Utah. We love this area. It's not the great big city that we've been to. We've been to New York City, and I don't want to live there. It's too much, too many people. We've also been to Hong Kong and mainland China, and so we've seen masses of people. We like the little quieter life here in Utah.
I am Ken Pulsipher. As Joan said, we have lived in a lot of areas and ended up in Sandy, Utah, which of course, as we continue to travel, we represent ourselves being from Salt Lake City. No one knows where Sandy, Utah is. We have 11 children.
We have 33 grandchildren and 3 great-grandchildren. We actually bought a home that was close to the elementary school and the middle school and not too far from the high school, because we wanted to be involved in their education. And so I was room mothers and that kind of thing as they were growing up. It's been a very family-oriented community. We've loved that. Religion, of course, has played a big part as they've been growing up in their lives with values and so on.
When we retired, we began to serve the church on missions. In fact, our first mission was working with the correctional services, prisons, and addiction recovery. Our headquarters were here, but we were given assignment to meet with chaplains and church leaders and prison officials, government officials who had responsibility for correctional facilities throughout the country. And we did that, and the church also allowed us to send materials free to those facilities. So we were very well received. We'd send out thousands of Bibles, copies of the Book of Mormon, materials for study out of the church education system. And so we had a good rapport with chaplains and administrators all over the country. And so as they requested that we come, we would connect with the church leaders there and give them entree to the facilities so they could establish worship services, relief society for the women, youth programs within the walls of the prison. You get called or invited to do prison work, you're a little skeptical about recidivism, not working. But we found that even among the hardened men and women and youth, they wanted an alternative philosophy rather than just getting even or revenge. And so as far as success, we saw men and women and young people changed because they could accept God or higher power, whatever their faith was. And we had active participation by inmates and youth of all faiths who came to our services, not ones that we conducted, but those that we helped establish locally. So we loved the work, and we were very warmly welcomed. We never had a threat, and we visited hundreds of prisons. We were never threatened. We never felt threatened because those who were incarcerated were so appreciative of those efforts that they were very protective of us.
We had the opportunity of representing BYU in the China Teachers Program over there. I was a little intimidated. I don't have a degree from the university, but my husband has his master's, and I got to tag along on his shirt tails. We taught actually doctoral candidates in China, so these are students that have been going to school for 18 to 20 years, and that's why I was a little intimidated. The only thing I felt that I knew more than they did was English. And so we taught them, and we taught them in a different way than what their teachers taught them there. Theirs was more of a lecture and a rote memory type thing, and we had fun with them. We taught them songs, and we had them give presentations in English. We played games with them. We used sports. We just really had a lot of fun and a good connection with them there.
We were in Tianjin, China, which is about an hour and a half by slow traffic outside of Beijing. And we loved China. They were very, very good to us, very hospitable. We respected their political and economic systems, which we really had to do, but that was no problem. We enjoyed the people. I served a mission to the Indian people in 1956 through 58, long time ago, and learned a little Navajo and just thoroughly enjoyed the work with the Indian people in the Four Corners area. Mostly I was with the Navajos. So after completing the mission, I became aware that there was an Indian placement program where students on reservations interested in education could live in homes of Mormons in the Idaho, Utah, California areas. And so I obtained my bachelor's and then my master's degree and went to work for the church with Indian students. So it was kind of a natural offshoot of my mission to the Indians, and being able to use Navajo a little bit with the kids, which was a lot of fun. In the church, there are really three kinds of service. The spontaneous Christian service, as we mentioned, which is just looking at your neighbor's yard, and if it needs snow needs shoveling, go do it. If someone's by the side of the road, go do it. Or even within the family, it's offering to take the kids off the hands of your daughter or daughter-in-law if you can see that maybe they have some other things to do. So that's probably the most rewarding and the funnest. The institutional service is typically a calling from the leader, the bishop or the stake president in the ward or the stake, to be a teacher, or as Joan was, to be president of the Relief Society or president of the Young Women, leading different age groups, both in spiritual and temporal training and education. Sunday would be pretty much the spiritual, and during the week the temporal skill learning, encouragement to develop your skill, talents, and so forth. And then the third, I guess, would be the post-institutional or the missionary service. And on the institutional level, Joan served as a teacher and administrator in primary and Relief Society, Young Women, and so forth. And I served as a bishop and stake president. And then as we were released from those callings and retired, then in the church, you're really it's recommended, and it's a wonderful recommendation, that you volunteer for missions, to go wherever the church needs help and spend your time and money. The church gets you there and back, but typically you pay your expenses, and so you save and prepare for that. And so that's why we've been able to go on the prison mission in Navajo and Washington, D.C., and Mongolia and China, because we were available to do that. And as long as we're healthy, we want to keep doing that. We hope our legacy is international as well as right here in our home, that we can, that people can feel something for others and forget themselves. And beyond that, that's probably as simple as you could get.
I think of the economic crisis and what America is going through right now, there's lots of opportunities to help people, to just even say hello, to encourage them that things will get better. We know it will. The country's gone through crises before, and we've come out of it, and it's okay. And just to do your best every day, be happy, I guess would be the thing. It's okay. Just be happy. Have faith that things will turn out better, and they will.
We would just say to everyone, got to have faith in something, someone, and hope for the future, and look beyond yourself.